Who are you and where are you from?
I'm Shuckles or LuxUmbra, and I do music, and I also do audio editing for Reading Rainbow.
All right, and what exactly do you do in Reading Rainbow?
Piece together different uh, narrators and fan voice actors to form a coherent story from different fanfics that we get given to us via request. And also some noise cancellation and effects, and sometimes I'll add sound effects and things like that.
All right, cool. So you do that, and you also make music. So do you have you done any collaborations so far?
Collaborations, kind of. I am working on one-ish with on here Lesh, fan voice actor, and she's also an incredible singer. But we haven't really worked on it that much. It's kind of taken a backseat to other projects. I also am working with. I don't know if you guys have heard of DJ Damos Fox and Emerald Page. He did the Final Scratch tapes. And there's a project called Pony Swap that I am doing sound design for too. I don't know if you've heard it. It was Free Northwest.
Not sure if I heard that, but then again, I'm
Okay.
not the person who gets out too much. I am broke as buck, as you'd say.
Yeah, that's what college does to you.
Yeah, thing is, I'm not in college yet. But I shall be soon. Going into computer programming, so yay. Let's see. What song do you like the most that you've made so far? Or was that the most fun that you had making?
Probably my most recent one, which Sleepwalker. Yeah, you guys have probably heard it. It's been on here quite a bit, and it was on EQD. It was a lot of fun to make. I did that with one of my friends. He helped me do some of the effects and some piano parts for it. And I don't know, we made that in 2 days, and it was just a lot of fun. Like, when I write songs, most of the time it's just like an idea will just pop into my head, and then I'll write the whole thing in like a day or two. So I don't know.
Nice. That was pretty fast for a song, and it's pretty good. Probably gonna play it in a bit because it's that good. Let's see.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. How long have you been, making music and audio editing kind of stuff?
I've actually been playing real instruments for my entire life. I play piano, bass guitar, clarinet, oboe, jaw harp, and a couple other things. And I didn't start writing electronic music until this May. I actually was a jazz musician before.
What did you say it was? A jab heart or a
Jaw harp.
yeah, jaw harp?
It's
Or
Yeah, it's pretty much the most redneck instrument.
how did you get into making music?
Actually, because of ponies. I discovered this fandom because of the music, and I stumbled upon some of Glaze's, or Wooden Toaster, I guess. I don't even know what he prefers being called. I stumbled upon some of his music, and I don't know what, but I'm just like, this is so great. There's got to be some reason why people make music based on My Little Pony. So then I started watching the show, and the show is, of course, great.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fandom music that was already out there, since I came into the fandom pretty late, like this May, it kind of inspired me to start writing music on my own. And the best part of this fandom really is the community. Everyone says that, but I wouldn't have started making music if it wasn't for the support that I had from other musicians. Like pretty much straight right from the start. I don't know if you guys have heard of Thornair. He does trance music. He really showed me how to use some of the basic programs and like what plugins to use, and it was really helpful.
Yeah, the support in this community is freaking insane. I have
Hold
experienced
on a
it
second, I'm getting a
myself.
knock at my door.
All right, so I know that you do DJ in real life. What do you normally DJ for?
Whatever pays. No, just I'm in my 5th year of college in Cincinnati, so honestly, the most common gig that I get hired for is just house parties, which is great. We were playing at one last week, and I'm pretty sure that the floor was about to collapse. Like, I put on Gangnam Style because you have to play that at a party. And everyone just started jumping up and down, and you could literally see the floor just, like, bending in.
Oh my goodness. Whoever's the local carpenter is going to have a field day.
Yeah. I mean, like, all the houses around here, though, are so old that I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, man. Reminds me of some stuff that's in my local town. Horrible construction way back when. It's gotten so much better recently. Alright, so, who or what is your biggest inspiration at this time?
At this time, probably, I'd still have to go with Blaze, because he's the whole reason why I started making music in the first place. I've actually, out of all the musicians that I've talked to, he's still one of the few that I haven't been able to get a hold of.
Great things are great when they're a rarity, right?
Oh, yes.
Anywho,
it's such a bad pun.
I had to throw that in there. I had to throw that season 3 thing in there. I had to. I just felt like I had to. Alright, but as for Glaze, if I recall correctly, Glaze is the person and Wooden Tombstone is the actual OC that he has.
Something like that.
Let's see. Is there any new stuff that you're working on that you'd want to tell us about?
Yeah, actually, LuxUmbra has become more of a duo between my friend Travis, who is not a brony, and myself, so that's kind of interesting. I can still convince him to use brony samples in songs because they're so great, so how could you not like them?
Yeah.
And we're working on an EP right now, and we have a couple works in progress. Some of them are more done than others, but we're looking to release another 3 to 4 songs together instead of one at a time like I've been doing. So that'll hopefully be soon. We're trying to shoot for before Christmas.
Make it like a Christmas album thing, or
yeah, I don't know. We tried to do a Halloween thing, but then we got procrastinated by Guild Wars 2, so then we didn't finish anything before Halloween.
Guild Wars 2, the kryptonite of musicians.
Right.
All right, I'm going to open up to questions on the floor in the chat, or whatever you want to call it. And let some people ask you some questions while we hang out here. If there's one musician that you could collab with, besides Glaze, because I already know you would like to, hang out with that guy. But besides Glaze, is there anybody that you'd like to collab with in the future?
Yeah, actually, probably either Gaten, because I already talked to him on a semi-regular basis, and he's one of the few musicians that also uses Ableton, or anyone who's a vocalist, because I've never done a song with vocals, and I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Right when you said Gaten, I was just like freaking chuckling out of nowhere, because our DJ Pony Ace is like obsessed with Gaten.
He's pretty awesome.
He's good at what he does.
17 too.
No kidding. Wow,
no
that's freaking impressive, dude. He's good at what he does.
For real,
honestly.
I wish I was writing music when I was 17.
Yeah. How young are you?
I'm 22.
Nice.
Just because I know that someone's going to ask this, favorite pony's Rainbow Dash.
They always ask that. They always do. Favorite muffin?
Blueberry.
Such a good answer. What do you find the most fun with making music?
The creative aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 5th year in college in chemistry, so I don't get to do a lot of creative thinking at all. And, like, when I discovered that I could write music, I really enjoyed that I could come home from being in Chem Lab all day and just like do something creative instead of popping open a book and learning about like crystal structures of different forms of carbon. And I don't know, that was pretty awful. So it's a great way to relax, and it also makes me feel productive because now instead of coming home and playing like video games 100% of the time, I come home from class and I'll do something productive maybe half the time and then play video games the rest of the time.
Guild Wars 2, the musician's kryptonite strikes again.
I'm just a huge MMO sucker.
Yeah, honestly, I've never actually gotten into the Guild Wars stuff. I'm more of a, what do you call it? Splinter Cell, I guess you could say. Type.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, the Splinter Cell type, genre, I suppose. And for those of you out there wondering, my favorite pony is Applejack. So.
Oh, that's very underrated.
Oh, Chuckles, who is your favorite CMC?
Oh, I didn't even say that, sorry. That's a hard question, actually. I'd have to go with Apple Bloom.
Any specific reason why?
I guess, I don't know, Sweetie Belle's voice kind of annoys me at times, I'm not gonna lie.
Sweetie Bot.
Yeah. I mean, she's a great singer, obviously, but I don't know, just that crack, man. And
oh, yeah.
Scootaloo is fun, but she's like that kid that tries too hard.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I've had a couple IRL issues with some of that stuff.
I mean, they're all great, of course, but I just think Apple Bloom's my favorite, probably because she's probably the goofiest of the bunch, but also like the most confused with what she wants to do, I guess, at the same time. Because like Scootaloo knows that she's going to be Rainbow Dash when she grows up. I mean, come on.
It's implied.
Right. And Sweetie Belle, you just know is going to be a good singer. And Apple Bloom's just like, oh, everyone in my family has Apple in their name in some form. But is that what I want to do? Like, Applejack went to the city to see if that's what she wanted and discovered that she liked farming. And I grew up in a farm community, so maybe I could kind of relate. I don't know.
Yeah, I grew up. I semi grew up in a farm-ish type environment. I live out in the country. I don't exactly farm, but I do help out with some peoples in their farming-ish stuff. Passively. I don't actually do it like a job or anything, but so let's see. Any other questions? Questions. Come on, send them in, or ask them in the main chat, whatever works. I don't care.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on your own music?
I don't know. Like, I'm never really 100% happy when it's released because I'm kind of, like the saying, an artist is his own worst critic. So there's always things that you can pick out that you don't like. But for me, since I write so fast, it tends to be like the longer it takes me to write a song, the worse it gets, in my opinion. So
I can see that.
I'm just like, with everything I do, though, my first draft is usually the best. Like, I wrote a 13-page paper on, like, genetic diseases and things for school in one sitting, and then it won an award. So I just can't go back and review things.
Double-checking yourself makes you double-check your work.
Yeah, because then, like, ideas that were fresh at the time, you might be like, oh, I don't like that so much, but it might have been something new that you're just not used to.
Yeah, I can follow that.
What inspired the name LuxUmbra?
Good question.
Actually an interesting story. Well, not really story, but how it came to be. It's my friend that I collab with for a few things, and I also DJ with. We were trying to come up with a name for this because he's really into music too, and it's kind of funny because him and I are both scientists, so we'd have nothing to do with music. Like, he graduated 2 years ago with a bachelor's in biology, and I'm a chemist. But anyway, Lux is the Latin term for light, and Umbra is the Latin term for dark, so it's kind of a play off of light and dark, if that makes sense.
That's actually really clever. I like that. That's pretty cool. What do you think is your favorite community-made song so far?
My favorite one is either the one that just played, or on my other Chuckles the Man channel where I do not as much serious production, and that's more of where I started out. I collabed with Repairman Man from Reading Rainbow, who's the comedy narrator, and he's hilarious, to make You Are a Brony, which is a play off of You Are a Pirate. I don't know if you guys have heard that song. It's a pretty trolly song.
I don't know. Some of my DJs may have. Again, I'm not the biggest person to, go out and, hunt down everything. Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? Okay, how about this? What is one of your most favorite songs in the community in general, at large?
I really, really like anything by Pinkie Pie Swear, because I love the way that he can take a song and then combine the lyrics in a way to make a completely different melody. It's genius.
Yeah, he's good at what he does, too.
Yeah. As a song in general, I really like that the new song by Glaze, Awoken, is fantastic. And that was probably my favorite for a while. Let me actually go to my iTunes and see what my most played pony song is.
Yeah, there's somebody who made a typography video for it. You know what typography video is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 3-dimensional one, and that was pretty kick-ass, honestly. Whoever made that was like freaking... That was like, yeah, that was just awesome.
Yeah.
Most favorite show song? Huh?
Winter Wrap-Up. Because after I saw that episode, that was stuck in my head for like the next week.
No, that was the same way it was for me for Love is in Bloom. After I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck, that is going to be in my head for the next freaking month.
Yeah, although musically, I really love This Day Area because, well, as good of a song that it's... Yeah, that is a very complex song musically, and that vocalist is fantastic to be able to hit those intervals.
No kidding. Yeah.
I can talk some more about Reading Rainbow or Pony Swap, too, if you guys have questions about that.
Any new stuff with Reading Rainbow that you're allowed to share?
Oh, yeah. We have Yaplap is going to be a guest narrator coming up here soon.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear that one. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. After, discovering this whole music thing, I do want to eventually be able to make a living DJing and writing music. Just doing music production for a living, because that would be great. Because, as great as what I'm doing in college is now, I would just love to, wake up, make music, go to bed.
Do you play Minecraft at all?
Not really, actually. I used to. My little brother's into that.
I play Minecraft passively, I guess you could say. I don't know. I have a server thing that I'm a part of. It's like a miniature Equestria, I guess. There's probably a lot of people playing Minecraft right now.
Probably. If I played anything other than Guild Wars, though, I wouldn't have enough time in the day to function. Yeah,
no kidding. I haven't actually played Minecraft legitimately this entire week because of this fundraiser. What do you think is the most criticized song you've done so far?
Any song? I don't know. Probably... I did a song last spring that Adrian, who's in here, loves. It's called Meltdown, and it was after pulling 4 consecutive all-nighters for finals week, and my brain was so fried. And for some reason, I just wanted to write a song, so I just sat down and did it. And I thought it turned out pretty good, and some other people like it, but in the first play on Everfree Radio, it got it downvoted into oblivion.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
It's very glitch steppy, which is exactly how my brain was feeling at the time.
Oh man, I know that feels so too well.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is insanely bucked up beyond repair, honestly. The only thing that could repair it is a job. That's like the only thing that could repair it. And then again, I'd have a variation of about literally 8 hours difference between the times in which I'd work, probably.
Yeah, I used to sleep, then I went to college. It doesn't help that most of the people I work with on Reading Rainbow are from Europe, so I'm usually up late. Like, I was up till about 6 in the morning yesterday, and then I slept till 2 in the afternoon. That's a normal night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got asked another question. What brought you into Reading Rainbow, and why did you do it? That, I have to think about. Oh yeah, actually, when I first became a brony and figured out all the music and everything, I discovered Everfree Radio and met Chaotic Harmony, who's the head of Reading Rainbow now, and we kind of were each other's first brony friends-ish. And he is a fic writer. I don't know if you've read any of his stuff. It's pretty good. But he wanted to organize a show for some reason that did fic readings on Everfree Radio, and I was actually kind of surprised that he was able to contact the right people to take it off. And he asked me to be the audio editor since, we had been friends for so long, and that's pretty much why I got onto it in the first place. And then the whole team formed together, and Final Draft from Everfree Radio gave us all these voice actor contacts.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
Yeah. Honestly, I owe a lot to Chaotic Harmony because I probably wouldn't be where I am now musically, like in the fandom, if it wasn't for him, because, everyone says it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is so true, because if I wasn't a part of that, I wouldn't have gotten in contact with a lot of these musicians, a lot of these fan voice actors, and been on panels at conventions and things like that, so it wouldn't have been as easy for me to get known.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants Pony Swap is still considered a work in progress, but I would have no problem sharing with you guys the secret preview that we have.
Well, I guess we could go ahead and do that. Let's go back a bit. And what is Pony Swap?
It was written by the guy who does the vinyl scratch tapes, and I guess he's that someone in charge or something of Midnight Magic production, and hey, Chaotic Harmony just signed on.
Yeah.
And him and Amos Fox and myself put together this idea, and this is hilarious. It's kind of like Think Freaky Friday with ponies, where the main 6 swap bodies to be the opposite of themselves. So, like, Fluttershy is in Rainbow Dash's body, and so on. And I think, like, Twilight becomes Pinkie Pie, and I forget who else, but they discovered, like, some artifact that was somehow related to Discord, and in order to change back, they have to convince, or they can't let anybody else know that they're in a different body. So, like, the whole story is about them going around trying to basically act like a different person. And it's been a lot of fun for me and a lot of fun for the voice actors to, like, voice act different characters than they're used to.
That is gonna be interesting.
There was on Stay Brony, my friends, with Dusty Cat, Chaotic Harmony one time asked him if he liked bananas, and you should have seen Dusty's face. He like had his face go right into the camera and gave him that look. You know that look?
I'm familiar with it, yes. Oh my gosh. He asked, if you could go to Equestria with no chance of returning, would you do it?
Would I be transformed if I did?
Ooh, answering a question with a question.
I am.
Yeah, that's the technique you gotta take. Okay, if you could trade, yeah, if you could trade your talent for any other talent, what would it be?
But you missed Squirrel's question. What was your first episode you ever saw MLP?
Wait, oh, crap! I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I'm dealing with like Skype and other stuff, and my screen is like full of windows everywhere. I have 2 screens. I have my laptop and a monitor, and they're both full.
I have 4 screens, and they're all full. But my first episode I saw, I watched all of the episodes in order because I thought that was the right way to do it. My opinion of it, because, it was the first half of the Nightmare Moon one. I thought that it was great because I'd been seeing ponies on the internet for a while, but I didn't really decide to watch them until I find... why can't I hold all these screens, kid? But, yeah, I've been seeing stuff on the internet for a while, and I'm like, oh, whatever, that's dumb. So I was kind of skeptical when I saw it, but it was so much better than I thought it could be. The only complaint that I had about it was, honestly, Pinkie Pie's Giggle at the Ghosty song kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, honestly, that one, when I first saw it, it was just like, what? I felt exactly like I was like, please tell me she's not. She is. Oh,
yeah.
God. That's pretty much what it felt like when I first heard it. It kind of grew on me now. It's grown on me. It's not as, immediately bad. Like, I don't know, what do you call it? What's the word? I don't know. I don't grammar. I sorry.
Yeah. If I could trade my talent for any other talent, what would it be? Probably being able to draw, actually. The only thing that I can do artistically or creatively is music. I'm awful at writing. I can't write lyrics to save my life. I can't draw. Last time I drew, you can ask Allie. I sent her a Rainbow Dash figure in the mail and tried to draw a picture of Rainbow Dash, and I'm pretty sure like a plague was released when I opened it, or when she opened it, because the drawing was so bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't draw worth beans at all. Like, the best I can do is semi-accurate stick figures. That's about all I can do, is semi-accurate stick figures. And they're just like standing and talking. That's about it. I can draw talk bubbles successfully. I can draw talk bubbles without too much difficulty. So,
what are your comments about the previous gen ponies? I don't know. I've never watched one, and if I learned anything from this gen of My Little Pony, it's not to judge anything until you've seen it. So I'd be open-minded to watch an episode. I've just never gotten around to it. To be completely honest, yeah. That's why I gave Littlest Pet Shop a chance when it premiered, but that was awful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say. There was no characters.
Nope.
Like, and they were all introduced with a song, and none of them were memorable, and I don't know, that's just my complaint about it. It was an obvious money grab for bronies.
Yeah, to me they seemed a bit generic. In my opinion, the pets seemed a bit generic. The girl less, but still, it's in that category.
Yeah. If you had a chance to meet any of the main 6 or any pony from the show, who would you want to meet most? That's probably a tie, actually. I'd either want to meet Twilight because she'd do all my chemistry homework for me, or Rainbow Dash, obviously, because she's my favorite. And imagine, like, writing on the back of Rainbow Dash going Sonic Rainbow. That'd be so awesome.
It's like Nyan Cat writing on the back of Sonic Rainbow. It's a double rainbow.
Yes. What fandoms did you partake in before Pony? To be honest, none at all. I've never been involved in something like this before, which is probably a large part of the reason why it blows my mind how many people are behind this and how cool the community is. Because I didn't know that things like this really existed.
Same here, man. Damn straight, same here, man. I came from a very restricted mentality, and then
yeah, me too, to be honest.
And then bronies, huge community, almost it's a lot of sharing and a lot of free collaboration and community, and it's just like,
yeah.
Why is the world not more like this? Why not?
Like, I was in a fraternity for a while here at college, and I did sports in high school, so I've always just been that guy that was was closed-minded until I discovered this.
I was like socially closed. I was closed-minded, closed socially, like almost everything. Honestly.
Yeah.
But you know, you grow up, you move on, and you know, pony on.
Yeah, I have another question here.
Yep.
Did I ever do musical things before the Brony fandom? Yeah, you came in late, Chaotic Harmony. You missed everything. I've played instruments for pretty much my entire life, and I was in, I did band in high school. I played clarinet and oboe and tuba, and I also was in jazz band for a while, and then I was in a small jazz group playing bass guitar afterwards, and I played bass guitar. I played bass guitar for my church in high school, and I was in a band in high school. We won Battle of the Bands. It was pretty cool. And, so I've always just kind of been into music. I don't know why I never thought to pursue it seriously until this whole thing happened. I could write anything into an episode for any pony so it became canon, what would it be? As much as I want to say it's perfect the way it is, I would probably say that Scootaloo can fly, because that's so sad that she can't. I don't understand why Twilight can't fly, because when Pinkie Pie was babysitting, that unicorn could levitate itself.
Yeah, that...
I've always wondered that, because when the Stairmaster villain from the Season 3 premiere, he had all those stairs, and if Twilight could float, she could have just floated up to the top of the castle instead of gone down a bunch of stairs and then back up a bunch of stairs. Gak Pony. Gak Pony is best pony.
Now, Gak is back to being yesterday's.
They played that commercial like 4 times in a row every commercial break.
Oh my god. It's Gak! It's Gak! It's the Gak printer!
Gak.
Gak is back to being yesterday's thing. Floam is where it's at.
I'm surprised that nobody has made a Gak remix of anything like song-wise.
Wait, what? A remix or an original?
Yeah. Either or. I'm surprised that no musician has made any Gak song after the premiere yet.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, it's like there's like a certain Fluttershy did a Gak remix of something.
Ah, I missed it.
I think I'm not sure if it was Silverhound or Sim Gretna that did a Gak one too as well. I don't know. They're on YouTube.
I apparently have been living under a rock then. I'm sorry, chat.
No,
does it still work?
Oh, from the 90s? No idea. I've never had Gak. I've never had the honorable horror of dealing with any sort of Gak product.
Oh yeah. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen Pegasus?
I don't understand the question.
It depends. Where does he grip the coconut? Who's my favorite villain, and why did this one appeal to you? That's a great question. I did like Chrysalis, but I thought that the ending was kind of corny, because you have like this great setup where like essentially these vampire ponies are, invading Canterlot and defeated the princess's magic, but then somehow the power of love was greater than the sun god who raises the sun. I thought that was kind of cheesy. But I loved the Season 2 finale. It's probably still one of my favorite episodes, so don't hate me. But my favorite villain's probably Nightmare Moon, because I think that she was the most developed. Like, the villain episodes are great, but I feel like 40 minutes isn't enough to introduce a character and make the audience know enough about them to really, like, have a complex villain. Because, like, Discord was great, and it was awesome how he kind of, like, tortured and made them, like, one by one opposites of their personalities. And like the new villain was just kind of like an ominous cloud that didn't do anything, that wasn't even tried to be developed. But I really want to see what they could do with the show in like an hour and a half. Like, complete full development of a villain and everything, but I'm ADD, so I'm getting off track. But Nightmare Moon, because, like, you know, the beginning of that episode had such a great lead-in with, like, you know, the narrator coming in and telling you, like, oh, there's this legend or whatnot of a story, and then it probably also helps that the characters are also being introduced to you, so it doesn't feel stale. And, like, the entire time she's testing them until the end when, like, Twilight finds out that the whole reason she was sent there to make friends, which she thought was pointless, was actually because the princess trusted her, and it was, like, kind of a cool plot twist. I don't know. I think that's my favorite villain.
If you had a choice, would you choose 1,000 years in a dungeon or 1,000 years on the moon?
1,000 years dungeon. Do you watch Adventure Time?
I've delved a little bit into it. I'm not an active watcher of it because, well, 1, I don't have cable. 2, I don't have a dish. 3, I have really, 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 really slow internet.
Yeah.
Can you bring me a shrubbery? What? I mean, legitimate. What?
He loves his Monty Python references. Chaotic. Click that link right there.
Okay. He's just standing there menacingly. Oh. Wow. Oh, man. I need to, like, get out more or something.
Just watch Adventure Time.
I will, eventually. Eventually.
So, any more questions?
Monty Python is best Python. Any more questions?
Genres are you interested in producing in the future?
How's it going?
That's a great question. I've actually been thinking a lot about that because I feel like a lot of artists get into a groove production and kind of get stuck in one genre, like only producing dubstep or only producing like hardstyle or, you know, something like that. And I think that kind of limits you musically, and it also limits your fan base. And honestly, it's really hard to stretch out and make different genres. Like, I made a rap beat for Chaotic Harmony for something that he wanted for his like 200 subscriber like celebration or something. And it was fun because it was fresh, but you also learn a little bit from producing different styles of music, even though it was a rap beat and there's like no musical qualities to it. But I honestly would love to produce orchestral, because like I've written jazz, I've obviously, like you guys have heard, I've written like electronic and dubstep, but I love orchestral music, and one of my biggest influences as a musician is Bach. I love classical music, and I love how Bach is able to make like very complex sounds with only 3 or 4 instruments, and I listen to him all the time.
Any other classical inspirations that you have?
I
like
don't know.
Inspiration. How about this? Inspirations outside the Brony fandom.
Maybe like Deadmau5, because I love what he's doing, where he doesn't try to fit into a genre with his music, but Deadmau5 is also kind of an arrogant asshole.
Yeah. You can't have everything.
Yeah, I mean, he has great music, and what I also like about his stuff is that he uses Ableton, I use Ableton. I can listen to his songs and know exactly how he did it in Ableton. And I'm like, oh, that's clever, but I wouldn't have done it that way. He also has a ridiculous amount of analog stuff. Let me find something. His studio is retarded, because he doesn't like digital sounds. He really likes the warmth that you get from analog, which I do too. The only problem with that is I'm not the highest paid DJ in the world like Deadmau5 is, so I can't afford that stuff. Is Twilight Barkle or Rainbow Ash the best tree? What?
Oh my gosh. That reminds me of...
Twilight Barkle is the best singer. I don't even
Flutter
know how to
tree
answer
is
that
best
question.
tree. What are you talking about? Flutter tree is best tree. I'd like to be a tree. Big Ash.
So you need to run Vista.
Oh, Vista. Oh, that. I want to punch its face.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh. Vista needs to go eat a boat.
I love how Microsoft is trying to be Apple now with Windows 8.
Yeah, I hate Windows 8, honestly.
Although, if you look at history, every other operating system that Microsoft made is awful. You know, like you have XP, and then Vista, and then 7, and then 8. So then what'll come after 8? Maybe something good.
Well, all I can say is their biggest mistake was Microsoft ME.
Yeah.
Or was it 2000?
No, ME. 2000 was great.
ME was horrible, and then Vista was the second place horrible.
ME came between 2000 and XP, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, see, every other one. What coffee do I produce to? That is a great question, because I love coffee and I always drink it black, because that's the only way. Right now, I'm drinking a nice cup of hazelnut toffee. And I'm kind of a coffee snob, to be honest. I grind my own beans and then put it in a French press because I like it. But I love, like, one thing that I've gotten into, really, especially since Ponies, is I love trying new things. So recently I've been buying, like, just a shit ton of coffee and then blending it together. Like, I'll try mixing, like, some Brazilian beans with some flavored stuff or something else.
PS Dreamcast Pony Windows XP is only XP. So, of course, it's best. It wins by default.
This is fun with chuckles now through the internet. Oh, nice OC category. I knew you'd be showing that off. You know what? I'm going to show off mine, actually, because I feel like not a lot of people have seen it.
Oh, that's an interesting OC. It's like a blue with a very light gray mane, the blue feather in its mouth.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of something important. Yes, quite indeed. I must write it down.
There's my OC, if you guys have seen it. My little brother actually did that for me in Adobe Illustrator because he's the best little brother. He's 2 years younger. He's in art school for architecture, so he's a lot more. He's crazy at drawing. If you look at his DeviantArt, he like has a couple like photorealistic sketches that he did with a pencil. I don't know how he does it.
These artists in this community are awesome, including Lombraxa, who's a great artist. He's good at what he does.
You said that wrong. That was complete dyslexia.
Yes, I know. I have a habit of switching the X and the U.
It's cool. Just call me Chuckles.
Chuckles. I'm chuckling inside. So yeah.
Actually, this week I was asked to do audio editing on a non-Pony project that's going to be an animated mini-series, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm not allowed to say anything about it.
Shifty eyes, shifty eyes, shifty eyes.
Right.
You heard it here first on Lunar Radio. LuxUmbra is doing something
Right.
secretive. Hush, hush.
That's the
No
dark
spoilers.
part of my name, I guess.
Hmm?
The dark part of my name, because, you know, yeah, no, Umbra.
Umbra. Umbra.
Yeah, I was asked a couple
Umbra
more questions in the chat, I guess.
Umbra is doing secretive stuff. Wow.
Chaotic Harmony asked me, what was it like talking to people at a con? And how excited am I for and reading Rainbow thing at a con? I love talking to people about what I love, since music is my passion. So it's kind of like, you know, everyone loves telling their, you know, coming out as a Brony story or whatever. It's kind of the same thing. Like, you know, I sat on a panel and people just asked me questions about music, and it's really cool because people are genuinely interested in what I'm passionate about, and that's really cool, and it's also really supportive. So, like, thank you guys for being such an awesome community and supporting musicians and artists like me, because if it wasn't for the support of the community, honestly, I don't think, a lot of people like myself would have discovered their artistic sides.
Thank you guys for coming in and listening, and yes, Ruse, Pony Ace, thank you for streaming and holding the Skype call, because my internet's crap, so I thank you for that.
And thank you guys for letting me drag you from reading Rainboom to listen to me talk about things that you already knew.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and, one more time, just quick, plug and stuff. Please donate to the Lunar Radio Hurricane Sandy Relief Fund. Help those guys recover out in the East Coast, because they really need the help. All 100% of everything we get out of this week goes there. Goes there. Everything. We take nothing for ourselves. Just to let you guys know, to make sure that you guys know that's where your guys' money is going. So, thank you for joining us, LuxUmbra. I almost
thanks guys.
Almost said it the other way.